I'm all alone. There's no one here beside me. Good afternoon, Flosstube! I just made my dog run out of the room. Hey, everybody! It's Courtney here, the New Mexico Stitching Demon. Now, Mrs. New Mexico Stitching Demon. Oh my god. Oh my god. Look at that. It happened! Oh, what's really cool about this ring. Okay, so this ring, we got our rings from Carbon 6 because we're not traditional people. And our rings, mine is made out of resin, and his is made out of something, titanium. And we both have a core in it that it glows in the dark. So I can't really show you guys because there's a light on. Yeah, not gonna be able to see, but it's really, really cool. So I'm a missus. Oh my god. So obviously, we're gonna go ahead and start off with the life update, and then we're gonna get into all of cross stitch. Does that sound great? That sounds great. Okay. Life update. Warning, this video might be pretty long because it's been 2 damn months, people. 2 months since 2.5, really, because today is October 13th. It's a Sunday, middle of the Columbus Day weekend. All hail the man who never discovered America and was completely a butchering, incompetent buffoon. But hey, state and federal workers, we get a day off. Whatever. Anyway, there's nobody in the house. This is like the first time in like forever that there's like nobody but me and the dogs and the cats in the house. Mom is off doing bowling with one of her groups, which she's doing really well at. She's making her meetings. She's doing her thing. Our relationship is improving. We have our good days and our bad days. But she's doing really, really well with her recovery and with, just everything around the house. And our relationship is always improving day to day. So that's always good, but it'll be nice when she gets her own place. Dane is off shopping. I had asked if he wanted to be in the video, and he said, yeah, I would like to be part of the video. And he's like, but I would only be like have 2 minutes worth of shit to say. Well, that's true, because he doesn't stitch like I do. He doesn't have nearly as many whips as I do. And he has no finishes. So, also, something that you may have noticed is I got my nails done. When I got them done for the wedding, they were silver and the ring finger were gold. When I went and got them redone yesterday, I asked for something Halloween-y, and there you go. They sparkle. And they're pointy, which, pro tip chicks, ladies, they're great tickling devices. Just saying. So the wedding happened. The wedding finally. Oh my god, the wedding finally happened. September 27th, 2019. We finally became Mr. and Mrs. It was months, and I mean, we've been together 4.5 years, and it was time. It was time to just do it. And you guys have heard me talking about all the wedding planning and everything. There were some things that we were stressing out over that never even occurred. Me and my bridesmaid, one of my good friends, we spent a couple hours making centerpieces. They never made them out into the tables. I stressed out about the music, never even played it. We were worried about, what kind of champagne we should use, never even opened it. I mean, we were worried about the chairs, and we had plenty. We were worried about the tables, plenty. Our neighbor wound up smoking all of our meat. People brought in desserts and everything. The cake was phenomenal. We're still eating it because, we just keep forgetting that we still have cake in there. Oh my god, my dress was just beautiful. So props to my mother-in-law, Mindy, for losing sleep over that thing because it was gorgeous. Oh my God, I absolutely loved it. Dane looked amazing. The grooms did steampunk. Me and my girls, we did more fantasy. I had elfin ear cuffs. My hair looked great. I had like a Viking hairstyle. A friend of mine from work did my makeup. She's not a professional. Didn't care. She did a great job, and she got paid for it. And she was surprised that she got paid for it. I'm like, yeah. I mean, you took time off of work. You came out to my house, which is 20 minutes away, and you made me beautiful for my big day. You deserve something. So she was really, really happy for that. I mean, we didn't have a whole lot of people show up. 30 people, I think, total, maybe. And it was all, friends, old friends and family friends, and that was perfect. We had invited so many people, and around the same time that we were getting married, a lot of people were like, I'm sorry, I can't make it. This life event happened. I've got this thing going on. We get it. I mean, we're not going to ask people to stop their lives for a few hours to celebrate with us. We got it. We understood. I wasn't going to freak out for nobody showing up. One person from work showed up, and that was fine. That was fine. Our photographer did a great job. She's still processing all of the 2,000 plus pictures that her and her boyfriend took. We got pictures taken during the ceremony from people that attended. The ceremony itself was just, oh my God, you guys, I can go on and on and on. But this is not what this video is about. But, it was the accumulation of months and weeks and then days of just stress. And I'll tell you what, those couple of weeks and days leading up to the actual day, I had bride fever. I had bride brain, wedding brain. I could not focus at work at all. It was bad. It was really bad. And of course, because, especially that week, getting everything together for the wedding, I got very little stitching done. And when I show you the comparison between, well, I mean, there wasn't really a comparison to show you, but I'll tell you later when we get to that point. Basically, I can tell you right now, there was 3 straight days where there was no stitching done. Did I meet all of my goals? No, absolutely not. Am I going to meet all of my goals for this month? No, because I got sick, but goals, I mean, these are not life or death goals. These are just stitching goals. And have I stitched every day since the wedding? Oh God, yes. Absolutely. We did take a mini honeymoon. We went to Albuquerque. We found a stitching we found an LNS. I was surprised. And it turns out she was the only LNS in the entire state of New Mexico for years. Especially in the Albuquerque metropolitan area, she is the only cross-stitch store. The stitching store is called the Stitcher's Garden. It's on Eubank in Albuquerque. It's in like this strip mall. She's like right in the corner. And when Dane and I went, because that was the first place that we hit up once we got to Albuquerque, we had breakfast with the in-laws, and then we went to Albuquerque, hit the stitcher shop, spent money. My moratorium was done for a day. And I can't wait to show you guys. That'll be later. I mean, what can I say? I mean, we walked in and there was floss and there was beads and there was charts and there was everything and there was so many models. Like, the model stitching was gorgeous, and there was a little stitching group going on when we walked in. That was really cool. And they were talking about stuff that was going on in Albuquerque, so I know that they were Albuquerque natives. Talking about stuff that I had no clue on, and that was fine. But the fact that there was some ladies there stitching, I was like, oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. It was so exciting walking in. And then she said, there's also a needlepoint store if you guys want to check that out. And we did, and it's the Twisted Stitcher, singular. Strictly 99% of it was needlepoint, but she does have all of the floss, all of the specialty floss, no DMC, all the Krynic, I don't remember if I saw beads. I think I saw beads. There was also some supplies like little scissors. Dane got a really cool ripper. It was handmade. Oh my gosh, we just had the best time. And then we went back to our hotel, and we just stayed in the hotel for the rest of the day. Well, we did go to Chili's. We got a free lava cake for dessert because we had mentioned, yeah, we just got married yesterday. We're here just for the weekend, small little honeymoon. We're so glad that you chose us. We're like, well, yeah, you guys have freaking bomb food. And they did. They had freaking bomb food. I don't even remember everything that we had. It was so good. So good. And we got a free lava cake and ice cream, and the ice cream melted. Because we had a little mini fridge in the hotel room, but it didn't have a freezer. I'm sure you didn't hear that. Our chickens have been laying eggs like massively crazy. We have 4 dozen eggs right now. One of them is set aside, already sold for Tuesday, and then we just need to sell the rest of them. I would sell them over the internet if I knew they wouldn't break, but then you guys would end up paying more than what we charge local. Because of shipping and handling and the fact that they're fragile. So there's no point in me selling to you guys. Sorry. But they are delicious farm fresh eggs. We don't spend money on eggs anymore. We just spend money on making sure that the chickens will lay the eggs. Anyway, continuing on with the mini honeymoon, the next day we spent the day at the Albuquerque Zoo and Biopark and Aquarium, which was nice. Massively outdated. We enjoyed ourselves. We did. The problem was that our hearts were breaking for a lot of the animals because their enclosures are way too small. Way too small. Just as an example, the enclosure that the cheetah is in isn't even big enough for him to get up to a little jog. Small. The enclosures for the gorillas, you are way too close to the gorillas. The enclosure for the polar bear was really small. They put pretty much any money that they could have done to kind of expand or update the enclosures or anything. They put it all towards the penguin chill, which is their new exhibit, which was cool. Literally. But, I think that we like zoos. We do. There's a lot of zoos out there that they have programs, rehabilitation programs and educational programs that they're very, very important for education and for making sure that any animal that they catch that has been wounded or affected negatively by some sort of natural disaster or oil spill or whatever, or what have you, that they're being taken care of. They're getting treatment. They're getting time to rehab basically before they get released. So we understand the point of wildlife preserves, zoos, aquariums. We get it. The problem is that if you're going to have a zoo, that they need to make sure that the animals that they are putting on display can still feel like they're in their natural habitat, such as the Cincinnati Zoo and the San Diego Zoo, which are 2 of the largest zoos in the world. If you have ever gone to the San Diego Zoo, there are acres and acres and acres of land, open land, where the animals just roam free. And that's what they should do. And of course, obviously, the zookeepers, they go out into their little trucks and they're feeding them and they're doing whatever they need to do. But for the most part, they can just live their lives. And that's what it's supposed to be. So I really do understand also on that flip side of the coin why a lot of zoos shouldn't be operable, because you're kind of putting the animals into a position where you're stressing them out. You have basically screwed up their biological processes. They are depressed. They are no longer afraid of humans. And they really need to be, because we are deadly creatures, same as they are, especially predators. I think that a lot of zoos, and this is just my opinion, take it for what it's worth, I think a lot of zoos really ought to either shut down or reconsider their business model, shall we say. The aquarium, the biopark was really, really nice. The problem was is that when we were walking through the Japanese garden, whatever we were walking past made my eyes burn and itch badly. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And there's Melissa's tail. Come here, fat cat. Say hello. Say hello to everybody. Hello. The most disinterested feline ever, right? Yeah, the gardens were really, really pretty. They were really great. I loved them. There was a lot of, it was really, really awesome. I think we enjoyed those more than we did the zoos, because you can't really have your heart broken by a flower that's thriving, And of course, we're going like right during the change of season, so a lot of the flowers were dying, so it wasn't like super, super, super pretty. Like it could have been in the spring, but whatever. The aquarium was okay. It was small. It was cool. It was cool. But, for the most part, we really did have a good job, or we really did have a good time. And then Monday we came home. Oh, and while we were eating, overpaying for burgers over at the Shark Reef Cafe, which, by the way, did have good food. It was just massively overpriced, and we understood walking in to the place. So that was where we were going to spend all of our money. It was going to be for lunch. And we did get to ride the train. That was really fun. My mom let us know that Jasper was sick, and we're like, what the hell? And she's like, no, he's not acting sick, but there's some blood where there doesn't need to be. And we were freaking out. So of course I'm like eating lunch and like Googling, what does this mean? And should we be concerned? And I just said, just keep an eye on him. If it persists, take him to the vet, ask for Dr. Ted. We'll pay the bill when we get back on the credit card. She said, okay, don't worry about it. Everything's fine. And he's not, like they're all just acting normal. He's just kind of, let's just say what exactly it was. He was pooping blood, and I was freaking out, and Dane got pissed because that just meant to him that somebody had given him a chicken bone during the reception. And we had told the kids, don't give the dogs food because shit like that can happen. But they're fine. Everybody's fine. They're all normal. Bandit was apparently miserable while we were gone. Poor baby. Cats didn't care. Diamond did get out. We were furious about that, but we finally got her back in on Tuesday afternoon. That was a fun couple of days of stressing out, but anyway. So yeah, we're about 20 minutes in. We haven't talked cross stitch at all, except for the stitching garden, the Stitcher's Garden, and the Twisted Stitchers, or Twisted Stitcher. So where shall we begin? Because we have 2 months worth of cross stitch to talk about. In those 2 months, I did do a couple of marathons. There was one day where me and my friend, we did it like the 12 hours Demon Stitchathon, which was fun. And then for the 24 hours of cross stitch marathon, I did that as well, but I only did it for like a day and a half, and then I just kind of got tired, and then it turned out I was getting sick, so that sucked. But I kind of did it like a kamikaze style. I created a wheel on my fire that's over there, under the phone over there. Found an app for Amazon Fire called Amazing Wheels. So if anybody out there has a Fire, an Amazon Fire, not a Kindle, not an iPad, none of that nonsense. If you have a Fire, if you go into the Google App Store, you'll find Amazing Wheels, and same concept. Works out just fine. I absolutely love it, and I'm going to be using that moving forward when making decisions on my focus, on any marathons I decide to do, anything. Instead of random number generator, I'll be using that. So, but I basically put in all of my whips and on one wheel, and then I put in another wheel that was time increments of between 15 minutes and 2 hours. And I would spin the kamikaze wheel of the projects, and then whatever project that landed, and then the time wheel, and then how much time I would work on that. So I had an opportunity to work on something many times. I ultimately worked on stuff once or twice just for the whole weekend, but not twice in a day, which is fine. But what I'm going to be showing you guys is what I was predominantly working on for the last 2 months, for September and October, because we're getting into October. Did I need to show you guys August as well? Probably should have. No, I think I already... No, yeah, I already went over that. So basically we're just talking about September and October, and then I promise the Stitch With Me's are also going to be coming back, but we'll talk about that during plans later. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? I think what we will do first is we're going to go ahead and talk about So yeah, I fully intended on making this later, but I'm just so excited about having gone to a crinkle crinkle. Ooh, I hate that noise. So many of us hate that noise. About going to a cross stitch store that I was just like, oh, I have to share all of the stuff that I got. There was so much, and in fact, wound up having to put some stuff back because there was a long dog sampler. I had to slow myself down and say that. That I was interested in, and then I weighted against what I ultimately got. I said, nah, I'll just go ahead and I'll get this another time. There was a few Mirabilias. There was a lot of letters from Nora. So many Prims. There's Cricket Collection and Glendon Place. Prims and samplers, and I mean, holiday. If you've ever been to an LNS, you know exactly what kind of stuff that I'm talking about. Pretty much everything that you can think of, we saw. Just about. Because there's a lot of stuff that I stitched that obviously LNSs don't carry. You'd have to like go online and order them, and that's fine. But I absolutely love this stuff. So I got me some patterns. They also have fabric. I don't know how buying fabric is pretty much anywhere else, but like there was like bulk fabric, and I guess you could get it cut to a specific dimension. I just thought it was a little overpriced. Maybe that's just me, but I don't know. But anyway, let me go ahead and show you what I got. This first thing, and I gotta tell you, a couple of these things are things that I never would have gotten, but I was just like, man, this just looks so cool, and why don't I just like kind of, you know, open that door and expand my horizons, my stitching horizons. This is the Cricket Collection, number 304, Autumn. I am leaving them in the package and doing my best not to show glare. There was, I think, a whole set of these. I chose Autumn because it is the autumn season. And it's my favorite fall. It's my favorite season of the year. So it's Autumn from the Cricket Collection, which looks really cool. This is my first Jardin Privé, Quaker to Halloween, basically Halloween Quaker. Yeah, because I dig it. I think it's really, really cool. I already have plans of how I want to do this, and I'm not going to do any of the called for. Basically, I have dark fabric that I would like to stitch this on, and instead of using black floss, I'm going to use colored floss, and where there's white, I want to do glow in the dark, because I still have some of that stuff from the table runner, and I'd like to use it all up. So 100 by 100, that's not bad. It only calls for black and white DMC, so. And the model was stitched on 32 count Dirty Belfast linen by Zweigart. I'm going to be doing mine on I forget what it's called, but it's from Picture This Plus. And I'm pretty sure it'll be a good, perfect size. So, this one was actually in a battle with another Mirabilia that we found, because we were looking everywhere for Mirabilias, and for forever we couldn't find them. And then we finally found the turnstile next to the register. There wasn't a whole lot of mirrors, but there was some really nice mirrors. And Dane got the one that I passed up. He got Woodland Fairy. He's been stitching on Woodland Fairy, and he is absolutely in love with stitching it. He's like, he had to put it down because he's like, I need to do a rotation or else nothing else is going to get stitched on. And plus he needs the specialty, the Karen Water Lilies, and the beads, and the Krynic. I got Winter Love. Isn't she pretty? This is number 163, I guess. I don't know. Where do you see what number? I don't know. But anyway, Winter Love by Nora Corbett. Absolutely beautiful. Obviously, I wouldn't be stitching it on that fabric. I am very much into picking my own fabric and doing the colorful fabrics for the ladies of my collections, because it kind of makes it more personal. And with the success that I've been having with Persephone and the pink champagne from Color Cascade, or Color Cascade, depending on what part of the world you're in, just because it calls for a particular fabric doesn't mean it'll look good on that fabric, and you can find a different kind of fabric, and this is just FYI. That would be even better, and then it kind of makes it its own unique thing. So there's that one. This, Dane has one as well. I got Letters from Mermaid D for Dane, because that is my husband's name, and he got W. And I don't know if you guys have seen the W, but it's got some background stitching on it, and he's like, I ain't doing that shit, because it just doesn't look all that great. But so he's taking the background out. Mine doesn't have a background. It's just got the mermaid and the D, and I think I'm going to do this on like a light blue kind of watered, make it look like she's under the sea, I guess. But yeah, we were trying to find C. They didn't have C. They were out. I was kind of bummed. This is Halloween Eagles with flags. And if you guys have seen that meme on Facebook, then you understand why these are not called Halloween Eagles. The bird formerly known as crow. This is called Liberty Parade. I love crows. I love my country. So it made sense to get crows with flags. This would be my first prim that I would ever do. And I think it's really, really cool. I think because it says Liberty in there, I'm sure you guys can't see it, but it's really, really dark the way the model stitcher did it. I think I would probably use a lighter floss to kind of make it pop a little bit more. So yeah. Liberty Parade from Country Spirits Collection. Homespun Elegance, designed by Sandra Sullivan. I dig it. And finally, oh, that feels so good. Thanks to all you people who are enablers and just absolutely terrible people on the planet. I am starting to collect these. The Hawkrun Hollow series. I got Spring at Hawkrun Hollow. I mean, yeah. This is what overrode the Long Dog Sampler. I don't remember which one it was. I remember that it was all in red. But this is what I got instead. It is... There's a big pattern. 185 by 614. 185, 614. Stitch count of each block, 92 by 92. So... That's really cool. Obviously, there's still a bunch more that I'm going to get. So, I also have Halloween at Hawkrun Hollow, as you guys know. This is going in the collection, and I dig it. Yes, there's a little church right there. I don't know if I'll change that, because I don't go to church. But... It doesn't like suggest anything religious. Maybe they're just running away from church because it's a nice spring day. There you go. Yeah, rebellious little teenage girl saying I'm not going to church because it's a beautiful spring day. All right, so I'm gonna just leave it the way it is. That's my haul. My moratorium is back on for the rest of the year. All 2.5 months of it. And then next year, I kind of don't want to buy more patterns. Honestly, because I still have so many. Those are my patterns. And then I have 4 drawers full of kits. Dana and I were talking about that if I do ever break my moratorium, and I will, let's be real about it, I will buy less patterns than the amount of kits or the amount of new starts that year. So the plan is 16 new starts in a year, every year. 8 in January, 8 in July. So basically I would keep it under 16 new patterns bought a year. And that way, you know, it would kind of balance out. That's the plan. That's the idea. Doesn't necessarily mean it'll go that way, because as if Sammy J and Jessie Marie have taught us anything, plans are meant to be changed frequently. So that's the haul. So we are going to just move right along. No FFOs. Nothing's been fully finished yet. I do plan on fully finishing 2 things today. Well, Dane is going to at least fully finish 1 thing. But we'll see. If not today, then tomorrow, because I get a 3-day weekend. So, and one of the FFOs is going to be what I'm going to show you right now, which is just a finish. Oh my God. We'll talk about that here right now. Finishes! So in the last 2 months, I've got 2 finishes. That's still pretty good. And Dana and I were even talking about it about a week or so ago, that because we were counting up all of my finishes for the year after, I think it was after this particular one I'm going to show you right now. He said, you've actually got more finishes done this year than you have since you started stitching again back in 2013. So I know. So monogamous stitchers, I get it, I've been there. But look at the benefits of multiple whips. Multiple finishes. Just saying, there are benefits to this. So the first one I'm going to show you is the only finish that I had for September, And this is also a very important finish because this is the last finish with my maiden initials. This is I Love Cats from Artiste, which is a kit that you can get at Hobby Lobby. And real quick, there are that is the last project. CEG. I will never be signing anything CEG anymore. Pretty cute. This was a lot of fun. Ultimately, it was fun to finish it. This and I Love Dogs were not my favorite to work on. But, you know, they're cute. And I am going to display it in my house. I just need to get a small little frame for it. And I'm looking for some frames that have, like, paws. Like, stuff that you can get at Hobby Lobby that have those designs on the frames. I'd like to get something that's, you know, animal related. So, but this was fun to finish. I was very happy to get it finished, and I'm excited to hang it. Well, I'm not gonna hang it up. I think I'm gonna get one of those standing things and then like put it on my desk or something. I don't know. That was fun. It's covered in cat and dog hair, as it should be. So there was that. This one I finished last night. I woke up with a cross-stitch hangover. Courtney, you ask. WTF, cross-stitch hangover? When you reach a certain point in your life where you have a bedtime and you stay up past that bedtime, you feel like shit the next day. And it feels like a hangover. It does. At least it does for me. If I stay up past midnight, I get a bad headache the next day. I was up till 2 a.m. finishing this. And the reason why, one, yeah, I was in the rotation to be worked on. But this is for somebody who had a super preemie. She was born at 23 weeks. You know, during that whole thing. They did finally get to take her home a couple weeks ago. She's doing pretty good. She's still having a few issues, which apparently, you know, it's normal. It's typical for preemies, especially born that early. She was in the NICU forever. She was called the St. Patrick's Day Miracle. So I was very excited to work on this and to finish it. And Dana's picking up the frame today as we speak, because we wanted to get it to her because my friend's boyfriend's mom is going to be going down to see her later this month. And I said, you know, it'd be really cool if I could finish it before then so she could take it down there. Because I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get it down there because she moved to Las Cruces. I'm like, I'm not driving all the way down to Las Cruces, and I don't mind shipping things. But I figured hand delivered would probably mean more, and I would get a better reaction. So I'm going to have to make sure to tell Catherine, make sure you take pictures and film it. Because that's kind of like the job of my delivery service. If you deliver or receive anything that I stitch for somebody else, I need a reaction because that's what I live for. You know, that's my own little pet peeve. It's not really a pet peeve. I mean, it's quirk, I guess. I don't know. I love to see people's reactions when they receive something that I've stitched for them. So if you ever receive something from me, please let me see your reaction because I'm a sick individual and I got to see it. Anyway, this is called A Blessing from Above. I've been calling it A Gift from Above, but it's called A Blessing from Above from Janlin. It's an old cross-stitch kit from the 90s, 1993 or 1994. The floss, obviously, you know, the dye lots aren't the same anymore, or whatever. And it was done on an 11 count Ada. I hand dyed it to kind of give it a feel of a New Mexican sunset, because we have balloon festivals. So, you know, I just kind of wanted to make it more of a New Mexican flair. So, anyway, without further ado, this is what gave me a cross-stitch hangover last night. I don't know if you can see the name very well. That's okay if you can't. But it's done. It's done. There you go. This was a total of 9 days stitched. I think I Love Cats was a total of 6 or 7 days. No, 2 weeks. I think it was a total of 2 weeks. I don't remember. But this is also the first one where I put my new signature, CW19. Obviously, I need to work on it. That's just one iteration of what ultimately will be. But yeah, here we go. That is the Birch sampler done and dusted. It will be framed and delivered by the end of the month. I don't think Kim watches these videos, but if she does, I hope she understands she has a job to do. Because I got to see those reactions. I got to. It's what, I mean, you don't just stitch it and forget it. You know, you don't stitch, send, and forget it. You kind of want to know that what you have done is being appreciated, whether it's through a Facebook post of like 1,500 thank yous or a little snippet, little film clip or something. You know, I don't know. I guess that's just me. No, I think that's a lot of us. Let's be real here. All right, so that takes care of finishes. Whips. Okay, whips. So September saw a lot of not getting done. I want to first show you guys the acrostic that I did for September. It was shorter days. I got Old Chip on there, Butterfly Ball, Legend of Dragoon, Winter Wildlife Stocking, I Love Dogs, I Love Cats, and that was it. And there's a lot up here in shorter that didn't get checked off because I was getting married. So obviously a lot of stuff did not get worked on. Old Chip did not get touched at all. It was on the schedule to be worked, but did not get anything done. For the entire month of September, here's my time tracker for the entire month of September. As you see, 3 days, no stitching. There was one day I did 10 minutes. 10 minutes. My monthly goal was to work on my focus piece for at least 24 minutes a day. Writing that, I knew that wasn't going to be met because at the very least on Friday I wasn't going to be stitching. I didn't realize that the 2 days leading up to the wedding day there wasn't going to be any stitching done because there was so much, and I was just like, I don't know what to do. What do I do? And then like I would like pull something out to work on it, and I'm like, I can't. So I didn't. I didn't stitch for 3 days, and if it taught me anything, it's that I don't have to always stitch. I can actually take a day off from stitching, and it's okay. But yeah, I think that was the one that got the... On the 24th was the day that got the least amount of stitching done. The average that I was hitting was about 6 days, 6.5 days of stitching. This got 4 days, 5 hours, and 15 minutes worth of stitching. That was September. 4 days. It's actually not bad, but I actually expected it to be a lot less. So I can't complain. I really can't complain. So I'll show you guys what I did for September. Butterfly Ball was on my acrostic a lot, just as my focus is for October on there a lot because it's my focus. And I wanted to kind of get, you know, obviously I'm going to be working a lot more on my focus, but I wanted to make sure that like I could get at least a minimum of 4 hours or 24 minutes or something done on it. So let me go ahead and show you what my focus was for the month of September. And that would be Butterfly Ball from Heaven and Earth Designs by Aimee Stewart. I think I mentioned this is the first Haid I ever received. I received this from as a birthday present from my loving husband a few years ago. And as you can see, it is highly detailed. Highly detailed. I worked on this almost every day, except for obviously the days where I didn't work on it at all. For the entire month of September, I finished pages 1 and 2 and got started on page 7 because there's page 11 because they're 10 pages across. And how I'm doing it is I'm doing the pages diagonally. So there you go. That is a lot of progress for 1 month. And it's a hell of a lot of confetti. Let me tell you, that is a shit ton of confetti. Not even gonna lie, it was driving me crazy a couple of times, but it's been so fun to work on this. Absolutely so much fun to work on this. I love every stitch. I'm doing this 2/1 tent stitch on 25 count even weave, Lugana. Ultimately, it's going to be rather large. But if you've ever done a Haid, even the small ones ain't that small. So yeah, that was my focus for the month of September, was Butterfly Ball from Heaven and Earth Designs. I am absolutely loving it. Obviously, we're just seeing a whole lot of tree. That's a lot of leaves right there. We're not going to be getting into anything specific really ever because there's a lot going on. There's fairies and there's butterflies and there's flowers and there's a river, and I mean, it is, and a waterfall. It's very, 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 very colorful. We'll say that. And it is exciting. Exciting to work on that. So there was my focus for the month of September. I'm going to put my finishes up here because I can make that pile over here. All right. So everything else is pretty much in order of how I worked on it, just because that's what keeps my brain sane. So the first, the first thing that I did in rotation for the month of September, which I worked on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And then I did it a day in October for the 24 Hours of Cross Stitch Marathon. I Love Dogs from Artiste Mini that you can get at Hobby Lobby. I absolutely love it. It's fun. Again, it's not one of my favorites, but it's fun. And for some reason, every time I'm stitching on it while watching YouTube, especially watching Fairy Tail, which, by the way, I've become a massive fan of anime in the last several months. Literally, all I have left to do is backstitch, and this is going to be in December, getting finished in December, guaranteed down to you. There we go. I just got backstitch to do. Pretty cool, huh? I love it. I love it. I'll be excited when it's done. Excited. Next we have Legend of Dragoon, my oldest whip. This thing is 2.5 years old. This, as you recall, was also my focus back in July. I only worked on it for 2 days in September, I think because reasons. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even log it. Oh my god. 9, 12, 9, 13, and then 10, 5. See, this is my tracker of, and I've shown this to you guys many times. This is how I keep track of how many days I actually stitch on anything, and then at the end of it, I calculate it all up to find the actual amount of time I stitched on it over the course of whatever. But anyway, Legend of Dragoon, this is how it will look when it is done, hopefully. This is a page from the Prima's official strategy guide for the Legend of Dragoon PlayStation 1 game. This is an unlicensed chart. I made it just for myself. You can never have it for yourself. That's the back side. You can never purchase it. You can never have it. You'll never see the pattern. What did I do on this? Well, first, I'm dropping highlighters everywhere, because I love to highlight my patterns. Oh, okay. So, I didn't do a lot with this one. That's okay, because like I said, this is the oldest whip that I've got going, and it will be going for probably another couple years. Let's be real about this. I got more of his leg in. Right in there. Doesn't look like a whole lot. That's okay. But, you know, you guys want to see the whole thing? There you go. This is where I am at currently. There you go. It's a lot. That is a lot. Is it even coming up? No. It's not coming up for the month of October. So I probably won't be bringing this out until November. I did work on this during the 24 hours of cross-stitch marathon. And I got a lot filled in during that time. So that was fun. Fold it in like that. Get the needle minder and needle sleeve. There we go. So there's that. Next, and of course we're still in September. Worked on Winter Wildlife Christmas stocking. This is for my husband, because I'm replacing the one that I made for him years ago before we even started dating. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. This is what I'm working on. I'm liking it. I did this 15th, 16th, and 17th, and that was it. Didn't work on it anymore. Look, there's another highlighter. Let's put the highlighters with projects. This fabric frays so bad, as you can tell. But this is where I'm at. Got the eagle finished and started on that little vine, and I believe that vine is finished. So, and now I'm working on some background, because you can kind of see some snowflakes in there. And then there's a little bit, obviously there's much more to be done, but that's where I'm at. Very cool. I actually liked working on that eagle. That was a lot of fun. Watching that thing come to life. It was fun. Fun. Okay. So there's that. And obviously I'm not showing you guys where it was before because it's been months since we've done anything. So yeah, and then in the rest of the month, I worked on Butterfly Ball, Gift from Above, or Blessing from Above, and Old Ship didn't even get touched. So that takes care of September. Let's talk about what's going on right now in October. So I am doing the acrostic, obviously, and and I track my time. I'm really enjoying tracking my time because I like to see how much time I'm literally spending stitching. Today I've literally spent 0 time because it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon at this point. I didn't get out of bed till 10:30 because I stayed up too damn late. Worth it. But anyway, for the 24 hours of cross stitch acrostic, I chose the Dark October XS acrostic, even though nothing on this list is technically Halloween related. Now, as we know, Miss Jen Lee has stated there are no rules for this thing. Make it your own. I know that there's a lot of people who are doing this that that they are specifically focusing on Darktober stuff, Halloween stuff, what have you, that's great. I don't really have anything like that going on right now. That's fine. But what I do have, I can actually make work, and it's sort of I can be creative, because that's one of the rules is to just be creative with it. So I will tell you what I am working on, and then how I'm making it work for Dark October XS acrostic. Persephone. If you know the mythology of Persephone, you know that she's Hades' wife. That she was basically kidnapped and then made to fall in love with him, and she is the co-ruler of Hades, along with Hades. She is also crazy bitch when it comes to her lovers and those that she won't allow her husband to have. So she is a dark queen. Blessing from above. Can you imagine like a zombie being dropped on your head? Yeah, I can't make that work, but that's okay. Oh, in October we have the Balloon Festival in Albuquerque. So there you go. That works out. See, I didn't even think about that till now. Woo-hoo. And the teddy bear and the blanket in the basket are, coming from above through the use of balloons. And in October, we have the Balloon Festival every year. So that works. There you go. Old ship. That is actually my focus, and this is what it's going to look like, and I'll show it again here in a minute after I'm done going over this acrostic. But this ship could be haunted. It could be a ghost ship. This could be, the Flying Dutchman. It's not, but it could be, So there, I was like, oh, that'd be a great way to put that in for Dark October XS. Make that a haunted ship. Vintage mermaid. Mermaids kill sailors. So, what more? Let it snow. It has been known to happen, and has actually been going on in certain places already, that it's been snowing in October. Denver got hit with some snow. Montana recently Montana actually got some snow during our honeymoon weekend, during the last weekend of September. And bad things can happen when it snows, like, murders, and we get a lot of holiday horror in October movies. So that's always fun. Travel memories. Haunted Paris. Doesn't Paris sometimes do like a ghost tour? There you go. Monopoly. I have a Walking Dead Monopoly game board. And seasons always drop in October. And we don't have cable anymore, so we can't watch the seasons live. That's fine. And Butterfly Ball. Halloween parties. There you go. Creative, right? So there you go. There's the acrostic, and I've already gotten a bunch already crossed off because I have been stitching like a mad woman. So far, the most time I've spent in a day was yesterday, with 11 hours and 4 minutes. And that was specifically on Blessing from Above. I didn't even touch my focus because I was hell bent on getting that thing finished, to the detriment of my health and sleep cycle. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. And I'm off tomorrow, so I can catch up on my sleep and get a real sleep schedule going. So there's that. That is my Dark October XS acrostic. I know that there's also Autumn Harvest acrostic, and I actually thought about doing both at the same time, but I'm like, that might drive me crazy. So anyway, let's go ahead and do the whips for October. As mentioned, I'm dropping ship. Old ship is my focus for this month. As a refresher, for those of you who are new, by the way, welcome. Welcome to all of my new subscribers, which I will mention later. Or actually, I'll just mention now. We're now over 500 subscribers. I had thought about doing a giveaway. I'm not sure that I'm going to, though, because reasons. We'll see. It's possible that I might do a giveaway, but I don't know. So hopefully you guys aren't here just for giveaways, because I am notorious about giveaways, but not really doing them a whole lot. So, ooh, actually, that's something that I'll mention here later. Anyway, for those of you who are new, welcome. Welcome to the madness. You're never going to leave. And if you do, that's cool. I totally understand. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, or slice of cake, or anything. This is my focus binder. This is what I take to work every day. This is what I keep my focus in while I'm working on it. I put my pattern in here, and I also put the page, the time tracker, or the date tracker, whatever, in there. I also have a certified copy of my marriage license in there because I have to get some shit done. The legalities of getting married. That aside. You have seen the picture of what it's going to look like. This is where it's at right now. Hot damn. That's all I can say. There's actually just a few more colors I need to put in this. And what I'm doing for this one is color completing. I'm color completing page by page, basically. Because I don't know. Because I wanted to. It's actually a lot of fun. This is being done on 16 count. Yep, 16 count. This is a chart from Riolis. Riolis number 479. Technically, they don't have names. If you ever go onto the Riolis site, because I was wondering, what is this thing actually called? Because the name isn't really on there in a way that people who don't read Russian can tell. So I went onto their site one day, and I was like looking for Riolis 479. What do they actually call it? Because I call it Old Ship. Their name for it is Ship. So I'm just as creative and imaginative as Riolis is with naming some of my shit. So if ever you want, I think I got this on Amazon, but you can order this from the Riolis website. It's the designer of this is Andrei Snetkov. Excuse me. And I am enjoying it. The floss is acrylic wool. Acrylic yarn. Woolen and acrylic yarn is what it says. So it's really soft. And it also frays super easy. But it's a lot of fun to work with. I really, really do enjoy it. I haven't said anything about the needle minders. This is one that I got from my friend Belinda, Aussie Stitcher. Oh, I forgot. I'm just knocking myself in the head with this thing. It's still in the Q-snap because I'm working on it every day. And I don't want to take it out. So, which means I really ought to buy more Q-snaps. Because when I was doing the kamikaze stitch for the 24 hours across stitch marathon, I needed this Q-snap for a couple of the things that I had pulled out. And I just didn't have it because it's in youth. So, I really ought to get more. But anyway, so yeah, there is Old Ship. I absolutely love working on that. I really, 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 really do. Okay, so moving on. I'm telling you guys, this is a long video, and you were warned. So, so the next, well, really the first thing that came up into rotation was Monopoly. I hadn't worked on this since May, full-time. It came out for the 12-hour Demon Stitchathon in September for a couple of hours. But I worked on this for 4 days this month because of the the 24 hours. So this is the, I got this particular chart on eBay. I paid a lot of money for it. This is the 1985, excuse me, game board edition, which means something to me because I was born in 1985. Tell you my age now. All right. There we go. That's what I got done. And now I'm orange. The little dragon needle minder is so cute. But yeah, there's what I got done. I plan on working on this again in December, maybe. We'll see. Because if anything, it'll be a page finish. So we'll see. We'll see how that rolls. I absolutely love working on this thing. Originally, the goal was to have it done for Christmas. It's not going to get done for Christmas. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? With all the stuff I got going on? Ha! Ha, she says. The next one was Let It Snow. And of course, we're into October, so of course you're not going to see all of the whips because I haven't done everything yet. The next thing I've been working on was Let It Snow from Stony Creek. Artist Stony Creek. Believe me, if you do ever try and find an artist for Stony Creek, you're not going to find one. It's just say designed by Stony Creek. But I like it. I hate snow. I live in an area that snows heavily during the wintertime, and I absolutely hate snow. But I love working on this banner. This was another one that I hadn't worked on since May. And when I pulled it out, I was surprised. But I got a good 4 days on it, again, because of the marathon. And I know that somebody that I watch, and I know watches me, Elizabeth from Solar Stitches, hello, has been digging this fabric because she's also working on this project, but not on a fabric like this. This is fabric that I dyed myself. This is 18 count Ada, hand dyed in the shaving cream method. A lot of the stuff that I hand dye is shaving cream method. Blessing from Above was the same way. I finally finished page 1. I am into page 2. This house, I love working on that house. It's almost done. And then, of course, there's, you know, snowman and trees and stuff like that I added. But if anything, this will probably come back out in December for page finish going into 2020. We'll see. We'll see. I don't have any plans set in stone, but we'll talk about that later. And now, what am I going to be working on today, tomorrow, and Tuesday? I almost said Monday, because it feels like Saturday, as I will be working on Travel Memories from Dimensions Gold Collection Petites. The designer is Lisa Goldstein. I love this piece. Oh my god, I have been itching to get back to stitching on this today because I love it so much. I'm going to be happy when it's finished because I want to hang it up. Like right now. I want it done and I want it hanging up in my house right now. This is a finish, okay? This is going to be a finish this weekend. All I have to do is finish in here, the butterfly, and then all of this, the back stitching. And then Dane told me, and when I mentioned this to Dane, he goes, honey, please don't hurt yourself. I'm like, I won't. I have all day tomorrow. He goes, thanks for rubbing it in. Because he works retail, so he doesn't get tomorrow off. I get every minute again. That's right. I get even the minor holidays off. It's awesome. But yeah, check it out, man. I am that close. I absolutely love the shadowing effect. I love the dimension of this thing. I just love how this, all of this pretty much is half stitches. This is being done on 18 count ivory cotton Ada with the Dimensions floss. I love this piece. I absolutely love this piece. I mean, I can't wait. I can't wait to hang this up because it's going to look so cool. hanging up by my desk or on my desk or around my desk. I think I'm going to put it right there. You guys can't see it, obviously, but I'm going to put it right there. It'll be really fun to put it right there. Super cool. Honey just came home. Oh yeah, Honey just came home. Is that Daddy? They're all excited. Daddy's home! Daddy's home! So yeah, that's all the whips that I have going on right now. Which basically is going to lead us right into plans. There's Mr. New Mexico Stitching Demon. So before we get to my plans, we're going to go ahead and let him do his thing.
Hey folks, how's it going? Yeah, Mr. New Mexico Stitching Demon now. I missed last week's video being able to show off what I picked up during the wedding shopping. This little mirabilia right here.
That's Woodland Fairy?
Woodland Fairy Goddess. Something like that. It's covered up with pattern and sorry, can't see that, or can you? This whole multiple width thing, I don't know how you do it. It's like, I have 4, and it's starting. I saw that mirabilia. I got started on it. I probably shouldn't have because I already had 3 others in the works, and one of which I hadn't touched in over a year.
Has it been that long?
What was it? 17 months.
Wow.
So now
I thought a few months for me was bad. I'm just saying because Monopoly had been touched since May. There was other stuff going on.
You have a good excuse. You've gone through what 27 this year.
Whips.
14 active, but way to go. So I've got 4.
Easy.
So just as a recap, this is the one you might remember from my channel. Fallen Angel. It's my one and only Hade. It's gonna take me forever.
Well,
That's the one that I started 3 years ago in 2016, and that I stopped stitching on for a while.
Because reasons.
Stitching bug died. Another one that I have in progress is Cherry Blossoms. And the pattern comes with the ability to divide it into thirds to make like a 3-picture. I'm going to go that way. And then the piece that Courtney got me started back up that revived the Stitchy Bug. And the way I'm just doing it is 1 week each piece and I'm rotating. That first week with the Mira, and a nice little sparkly fabric. That's as far as I got. And
this is this is half of one of the pieces of fabric that we got from Belinda, and it works because the other half now I can use for something else. Because I was like, I don't have anything big, that huge. So,
especially not that isn't full coverage.
Right.
This week has been about my getting back to my Hade, and I remember why I stopped working on it. It's like super impossible to see, but that's all like either 5200 or 1. 5200 or 1. This whole page is.
What's 1?
White.
Like white?
5200 I think is bright white,
yeah.
And 1 is white.
As part of the new?
No, not the new, because now they list it as just white.
Oh.
My bobbin is old enough to remember that number 1 was
Blanc.
So
it's basically B5200 and white. Sucks to be you.
That's why I stopped working on this. It's all confetti and all the other colors. It's like 2 stitches of this, 3 stitches of that. All pastel close to white.
To be fair, I do have the one pattern that I got during the take 4 or whatever it was, when Glenna was doing a D-stash, and I've got one that it is like 80% white. the Native American girl.
Yeah.
So I make fun now, but I won't later.
White on white.
White on white on white on white. Well, that's why you don't. Well, that's why I'm not going to put that one on white fabric.
This is just that one.
That's just that one section.
This is one little area right here. As soon as I get off that page, I'm back into the wing. In fact, there's part of the wing on that page.
So it'll break up all of that monotony of white.
Yeah, the wings were a lot better at breaking up the
So how are you doing your rotation?
1 week each.
1 week each?
Like I was started on this last Monday, so tomorrow I'm going to start on cherry blossoms.
Are you still using the blue fabric? Just going to keep doing that one?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I think it's 28 1/1. I just got to figure out how I'm going to deal with the pattern, because the pattern is glossy color, and trying to scan it in, get it over to a black and white so I can start marking it off.
Yeah. Yep. Because I'll tell you, highlighting on this is...
It's the same thing with the material is.
Yeah, because it just stays wet for a while before it goes away.
That's at least a black and white. You couldn't make a Xerox. This one's in color.
Yeah, but that makes sense. We don't do that shit here. We don't. Making sense. Psh, whatever. You're cute.
I hope so.
So plans. What are we planning on doing today? We're gonna frame.
We're gonna get
that framed.
this all framed up. I'm gonna get it mounted and stapled, and someday if we ever get like a really nice GoPro something or another, maybe I'll do another video of how I finish, how I mount and do all that.
I concur with that idea. I am also going to FFO the table runner. Dane got me throwing shit. The thread, I'm going to do one on top of one on bottom, because the bottom fabric is just orange.
So we'll do the bobbin in black, and we'll do the top in orange. So that'll...
And the difficult thing is going to be lining up the Ada to make sure that the rows match. So you're going to be helping me out a lot. If I don't do it today, it'll be tomorrow. I think I'm going to wait till tomorrow when my headache is gone.
Yeah.
And you're home. And totally awake. Because his schedule is 4 a.m. to noon every day.
Monday through Friday, 4 a.m.
Poor baby. Yeah. I literally went to bed last night at the time that you wake up. This morning. Not last night. Well,
last night.
Last night-ish morning. / technically it was wee hours of the morning.
No, somebody had to have a finish.
Damn right. It's worth it. Worth it. The rest of October is going to be Travel Memories. I'm going to finish that son of a bitch. I'm going to finish it. Persephone will be later this week. Vintage Mermaid. Butterfly Ball. And then I'm going to end the month with the ship. And that might be a finish too. If I'm lucky. So that would be cool. Three finishes in a month. For November, let me show you what I have for November. Ready for this? It's gonna blow your mind. Nothing. December's already pretty much planned out.
Well,
Let's finish that stitch December. But November, I have no idea. We were talking about that I would just but I would work all on the big stuff for November. I think that would be a good idea, because then December is all the small stuff, and I'm also going to be pulling out Medieval Maiden in December. See if I can't make that a UFO and FFO, or at least an FO.
Or at least back in rotation.
At least back. Yeah, at the very least. We'll see. Because I've been salty about that piece. Maybe I'll figure it out. I've been obsessing over that piece for weeks. now at this point. I think I can make it work, but we'll see. We'll see. So that's that. That's plans. That's whips. That's finishes. That's the Mr. and Mrs. New Mexico Stitching Demon. Again, I want to thank everybody that has joined us. The new subscribers. Like I said, I don't... Oh, that's what I was going to mention. So, we have a bunch of fabric that we're going to be making project bags out of.
Oh, yes.
From the wedding. We have the...
the wedding fabric. The wedding arch. I've got, some 16 yards there. We got
the canvas for the runner. We'll see.
That one might, the burlap bit can be accent, but it's not a...
Yeah.
We've got...
Because it's got
other
wildlife
fabrics that... So we're going to be making a lot of project bags.
A lot of project bags, yes. And if I do a giveaway, I am going to do a free project bag with an accessory bag. Next month. I think that'd be a good idea. Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody else can pay for theirs.
Exactly. We'll keep it cheap-ish. Because we would like to recover a few of the costs, but the fabric is really, really pretty. So, we wanted to do something and kind of thank you guys for putting up with me while I was obsessing over the wedding, which turned out absolutely perfect. Everybody was telling us, don't worry about it, everything's going to be fine.
That's not us.
That's not us. I had bride brain. Did you have groom brain?
There was frustrating moments, but...
Yeah. But you got to have those days off before.
Yeah. I was able to take the time off to get the property ready.
I didn't. I had to work.
It took the entire week off before the wedding to do yard work, and I do not mean weed eater and lawnmower. Pickaxe and shovel.
And a teenager.
Oh yeah, he helped on
Free
one day.
labor.
Free labor. He helped for a day.
Thank you, Michael. And you had to get the stakes up, put the lights up, set up the tables and the chairs, but by then everybody else was here. Putting the arch together, getting the hay all set out, the platform for the chairs that nobody sat in. They sat in it for like 5 minutes. But then, and even Dave was like, I'm not sure why we were worrying about chairs because she never told us to sit back down. When I showed up, she said, everybody stand for the bride. And then nobody said, sit your ass down.
I didn't even know. My attention was stuck on you.
We were focused on the important parts. We were thinking about, oh yeah, maybe you should sit down. And then of course Bagel and Caitlin are like flitting around like butterflies taking all of your...
Oh, it was so weird because I'm sitting there looking at you and out of the corner of my eye, Bagel just kind of...
Here, a whole lot of that. It's a lot of fun though.
Oh yes.
It was a great day. Great day, great weekend. Aww, now you're mine. You're stuck forever. Forever and ever. You're mine. But would we get through that stress again?
Do we have to, though?
Yeah, that's a good question. We never have to do that again. We'll probably renew our vows in like 30 years. So we got 30 years to plan this shit out. And also a couple years to plan out the big honeymoon. Which might also fall into the same year as Ken and Mike's wedding. Think about that. Ooh, we should think about that because we'll talk about that later. We must leave you now. Don't tickle me, that's wrong.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Whatever. So November, I was talking about maybe doing like focusing, basically rotating all of the big whips for November, and then December is finish that stitch, which is something that Sammy J's got going on. Everything that is close to a finish that hasn't been finished by December will be focused on. There won't be a monthly focus. There will be like, you focus on that son of a bitch until it's done.
I suggest you find the one that is closest and you focus on that.
Right.
Find the one that is closest.
Yeah, and that would be I Love Dogs. That'll be the first finish in December. Guarantee you. And then after that, Dunno. Stitch with Me's. Those are coming back. But they're not going to be with music anymore because YouTube is bullshit. With their, I don't care if you're monetized or not, you can't play the song. Because we're not making money off of it. Whatever. So they're going to be stitching bitches. But I'm not going to, like, complain. I'm trying not to be a complainer. Much. But there's a lot to complain about, but there's just a lot to talk about and to, you know, whatever. So the Stitch with Me's will be talkies again. So that'll be fun. Bless you. Feel better? So at some point, we are going to get better cameras. And better, you know, one day we'll be Robin from Anime America and, like, have this whole production. But today is not that day. No.
No.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, commenting. If you would like to do us a favor and like this video, and that would be great, because YouTube algorithm, maybe I'll go up to 520 by the end of the month. That would be cool. Or 600 subscribers by the end of the year. That would be cool, too. We'll talk about the giveaways and everything later. We'll see. We'll see what's... But I think that's an idea. And then maybe throw in a bonus. We'll talk about a bonus for that, too. So you guys all take care. Happy stitching. And have a great rest of your weekend. Bye!